So much skill.
One of the biggest assets of any boxer, any athlete, is speed, and he has tremendous speed. Even when you do things wrong and you have good speed, you can still get away with it often.
Last week, Buddy McGirt, trainer of Antonio Tarver, said to Larry Merchant, the way to stop speed is to go right at it. That's what Corley's trying to do, and he hits Mayweather with a roundhouse right to punctuate a highly competitive round one.
You want to hit him easier going the other way. All right? Go the other way. Easy work. Easy work. It's going to be easier when you don't try to stand in front of him. You keep walking right in front of the left hand. Go the other way. Keep training. Keep that to the body. Keep that.
You got to fight him, champ. You see how far his legs is apart, man?
Close your ass and listen.
Come in behind the jab, a double jab.
Here's Mayweather. It was actually a punch to the body that sent Corley off balance. Corley believes he's as strong or stronger than Mayweather, and he's going to try to stay in his chest.
Pretty high up on the body. That punch actually landed around the clavicle. And interestingly, in round one, Mayweather launched 27 power punches by CompuBox count, but Corley threw 28 back. However, Mayweather landing at a higher frequency rate and landed a good-sized left hook there.
Well, it's hard to beat activity, and Mayweather's been very active considering Corley only had one major fight, I guess, for the last year. And activity is a big, big factor, especially when you're in these small weight divisions. And speed is such a big factor.
Straight right hand, Mayweather popping Corley right on the chin. On the other hand, Corley trained for 6 weeks with Costa Tszyu, certainly the biggest right-hand puncher in the 140-pound weight class. So Floyd Mayweather's right hand shouldn't be too heavy for him.
Well, I think different. I think speed is a bigger factor because Costa Tszyu is a good right hand, but it's just a power right hand. But Mayweather has so much speed, and that's the biggest factor.
And he's landing his right hand, and now Corley lands a right hand straight up the middle. The momentarily backed Mayweather off, but Floyd comes right back and pressures Corley to the ropes, lands 2 good body shots. Excellent body punching early here tonight by Floyd Mayweather.
Well, you know, I never expected this type of a fight. I thought it was going to be a technical fight, but it's turned out to be a brawl for the most part.
They're going to stand and trade shots, at least for the moment. And obviously, this is part of the arrogance of Floyd Mayweather, who could use his boxing skills, but believes, obviously, that he's got enough power to stand and trade shots with a 140-pound fighter in his first trip to this weight class.
In particular, Chop saying that he wanted to make it a physical fight. That's what he's got, but Mayweather seemed to have the better of it because of the speed. I also like to point out that about a year or so ago, I know Mayweather was having a lot of problems with his hands. And that was a reason I think a lot of his fights, he was fighting so defensive. Recently, his hands is healed up by him merely taking time off and letting them heal properly. And that's been, I think, the result of him having so much more confidence now.
Certainly his hands weren't hurting against Ndo as he unloaded power shot after power shot, fighting in the pocket.
When Mayweather's friend Zab Judah was fighting Corley, Mayweather was sitting in the audience urging Judah to become more offensive, to come right at Corley, and he is more offensive tonight.
He's much more confident too.
Hard shots by Mayweather. Corley comes back with his own fierce body shot.
I think Zab Judah and Mayweather's relationship goes back to they were amateur teammates in the Olympics in 1996. And now he's talking about fighting Zab Judah.
Actually, they were together at the Olympic trials. Judah, you'll recall, didn't make the Olympic team in '96.
Good left by Corley, right on the jaw. Mayweather took it well.
Having been upset by David Diaz in the trials. What an entertaining fight.
Very entertaining, surprising to me.
To his right, but keep taking them both ways, okay?
And speaking of entertaining, each Friday night catch On the Record with Bob Costas. Next week's guests include a musical performance by Avril Lavigne and the star of the upcoming movie The Day After Tomorrow, Dennis Quaid.
Good. So listen, that way he gets a chance to get back. Fuck him. Let him earn it. Don't let him hit the shit. You keep punching that. You keep touching that. You doing what you're doing. That's what makes it work easy.
You waiting too long.
Corley is going to have to land more of these to send Mayweather off of him. To convince Mayweather there's no profit in standing toe-to-toe.
Mayweather with excellent power punching numbers via CompuBox in the first 2 rounds.
There is
44%.
There is a bit of a welt under the right eye of Mayweather, perhaps from that punch in the late stages of the last round.
I'm very impressed with Mayweather's performance at this stage. He's standing toe-to-toe. He's out fighting Corley. He's not trying to outbox him. And he hasn't went into that shoulder roll where he gets very defensive a lot. Tonight he's very effective, being offensive.
And not bothered at all by facing a southpaw, but this southpaw is coming forward, which takes some of the advantage off of being left-handed.
Mayweather very calm amid the eye of the storm as Corley continues to try to put pressure on him, coming at him.
Maybe some blood in Corley's nose.
Mayweather's taking the role of the aggressive fighter in the fight.
Trying to block Corley's shots and pick them off and then retaliate immediately from close range. Another good right hand by Floyd Mayweather inside. Corley is indeed an entirely different fighter tonight than the man who fought Zab Judah last summer. Far more of a commitment to the fight. Can't seem to stop Floyd Mayweather's straight right hand.
Mayweather's starting to be effective with the punch that he was depending on the most, which was the straight right hand. That's going to be a big factor to going down the stretch if he can continue to land that punch. I don't think Corley was expecting Mayweather to be this aggressive himself. He thought Mayweather would be running back and he would be aggressive. But the roles have been reversed.
Here's a big left hand by Corley, momentarily stuns Mayweather.
It hurt Mayweather too.
Mayweather grins, fires back 2 body shots, but make no mistake, he was stunned by the left hand.
Keep him up. Let's go.
Mayweather is shaking it off and goes back after Corley with that right hand of his. Body shots by Mayweather, Corley coming with uppercuts.
All right, let him out. Put your head up. All right, breathe. Keep it clean, guys.
Round 3, a little bit more troublesome round than the first 2 were for Floyd Mayweather, largely because of the one big left-hand shot that seemed to blunt Mayweather's offense down the stretch.
I think he's got his bearings back together now, though. But it's interesting, even after he got it hit.
Now this was a really hard punch with a left hand. Mayweather took the punch, but it gave him some notice that he can't be completely reckless in his aggressiveness.
Close your eyes and listen to what they say. You had him hurt, Chopper, you let him get away. Get up on him. Make him fight. He don't want to fight. He want to sit outside and pick shots. Make him fight, man. Fight this motherfucker. Fight him. Oh, you're beautiful.
You keep taking him to his right. That's all the fuck you need to do. If you
Keep breaking him
down.
down. Keep breaking him
You're
down.
going to get him out of there
You're
anyway.
going to pop it up anyway. You're going to pop it up anyway.
You got the pop beat? All right, let's go. How you feel?
CompuBox numbers through the 3rd round. Mayweather 55 out of 152. Corley 31 out of 160. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27. Floyd Mayweather.
Well, he's in trouble now as DeMarcus Corley once again catches him and now tries to go to work against the ropes.
A right hand sent Mayweather back into the ropes.
And now Corley working against a Mayweather who's leaning back against the ropes, trying to get in something good to the body as Mayweather tries to fend him off while leaning back.
Well, one thing I'll give Corley credit for, he's trying to take his time, not throwing up too many punches where he drains himself, trying to wait for a good clean punch.
Corley not over anxious. Mayweather gathering himself and coming back. Now he tries to stop Corley's offense with body shots of his own.
Mayweather's hurt, but he's still fighting back.
Great left hook by Mayweather. Now Corley's hurt.
There's an opportunity for Corley here if he can take it, because as you just said, he is hurt. I think both fighters are hurt here.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for Mayweather too.
And we're only about halfway through the round.
Trading shots at close range. Suddenly it's Gaddy Ward 4 in a pairing where we never expected to see it.
But Mayweather's very good with those little short punches in close like this here. Whereas Corley has to get a little bit more swing room for him.
Right hand by Mayweather. Hardest punch of the